Hi there, this is part of the Joan series. Now I've been looking over my mushroom book. Learning about mushrooms is very important in a survival situation. But what I want to tell you about, did you know that mushrooms are the only one you can get vitamin D in? We get out in the sun because vitamin D is very important to us. We need vitamin D in our system. Can you imagine being in the dark for years with no vitamin, no sunlight getting to you? What would happen to your system? You would become kind of like those species they found in the caves. They found crawfish that was white. They found catfish that was blind. They found animals that were surviving in the caves that had never been exposed to sunlight at all. And can you imagine what it would do to them if they was exposed to sunlight being underground all those years? So for a human race, as well as other animals, the absorption of vitamin D is very important. Now, it says mushrooms here, and I'm going to set this up so you can see it. You know, this here book just gives you all kinds of information. But I'm doing this, you can read it, and hopefully you can see it there. But I want to give you a brief description. Now, it's talking about the mushrooms are a good source. In fact, it's the only food that contains this critical vitamin. Now, it's talking about the ultraviolet B that comes through. They absorb it. And then when they do that, they convert it to a vitamin D. And vitamin D is very important to us in our body to maintain our health. So if you're living in an area where there's not a lot of sunlight and stuff, they can absorb whatever amount of sunlight's coming in and convert it into vitamin D. It don't require a lot for them to convert it. So when you think about that, the amount of health that is in there by converting them. Now, you got a lot of people that, raises the mushrooms in the buildings, but even then they use sun lamps to give them some sunlight, imitation sunlight. Then, and that way it also creates into it. So it's ultraviolet B. We don't see it. There's all types of different ultraviolets in the light system. So for that is ultraviolet B is what converts into vitamin D. And we need it to get into our bodies. Our bodies need to convert the vitamin D into our system, so it's important to get some sunlight. Now, I'm not a big sun person. I'm just not. I can't lay out in the sun for, 6 hours. I did my stuff when I was a kid. Don't get me wrong. I did my stuff of laying out in the sun and things like that. But I'm not a big sun person. I never really cared to be a big sun person. I got a lot of my suntan and coloration from being outdoors. So I just don't have the patience to lay around. That's why a lot of people hit tanning beds now. But I do get sun. So like I said, mushrooms are the only plant. Like I said, look at this book here. Check it out. I've talked to you about it before. It tells you mushrooms are the only ones. So, but before you partake in any mushrooms, if you're allergic, you cannot pursue this. Then you're going to have to go with the vitamins. So before you eat anything, make certain you know what you're harvesting. Make sure you know whether you're allergic to it or not, because each mushroom is different. And be careful about cross-contamination when you are harvesting these plants. You don't want to harvest two different types of mushroom together. If you're taking some back for identification, make sure you keep them separate. Always keep your mushrooms separate in harvesting. And make sure you clean your trays out when you are grinding your mushrooms, okay? So this is part of Joan Seed series saying mushrooms, vitamin D, yay. Be safe, be happy. Bless you.